Welcome back to Voice of the Valley. Today we are here with Trevor Howell. He is a celebrity barber outside of Philipsburg. How you doing today, bro?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good, brother. So, how does it feel to cut hair for celebrities? Like, what does that process look like?
It feels good. I feel like cutting celebrities is more like it makes you realize that celebrities are actually like real people. They're just that not the average human, but I mean they're still doing the same things as us when you go to meet them or cut their hair, you end up finding out like all these guys are sitting down playing 2K. Same just like us, you know what I mean?
That's interesting. So, like, what are some interesting distinctions about these types of people? Like, they are celebrities at the end
hmm
of the day. Like, what do you notice that's different about them?
They keep their lives real like closed. They don't, I mean, they're not gonna sit in your chair and talk about this and that. They don't want you to hear things that you're not supposed to, and they know that. That's the one thing I feel like a lot. See these like new people that are growing on social media, they're putting their whole life out there. But like real like celebrities that I've met is like going like they're blocking what they need, like their personal life.
So they
Yeah,
walk in silence, kind of.
Sort of, in a sense,
They
yeah. I
move
know
in
that.
silence.
Yeah, and they know when to keep their mouth shut. Like they know not to blare out some things that you're not supposed to.
Got you, got you. What's the most you've ever traveled to do a cut?
I would say, I mean, I did go down to Miami for a haircut. That's where I had met a few people, but I've done haircuts down there. I was supposed to go to Malibu to do a haircut for a college kid for a basketball player, but the farthest I would say like driven was Washington D.C.
Nice, nice. So, what does it look like in a day in life of a barber, like starting right at the go?
I have to say, right out the go,
Mhm.
I mean, brush my teeth, shower. I would say first thing I do is I get in the shop about like 30 minutes early, and I basically I get myself maintained. You know what I mean? Put in the hairspray, get my hair dressed, and then you just get the energy. You know what I mean? I try to build energy in the shop, get an energy drink, get music going, so that way it builds like for my whole day. And
Mhm.
then throughout the day, I'm just, I mean, it's a lot of chatter, a lot of conversation with clients. So I
Mhm.
try to keep it as as upbeat as possible.
Nice.
so what first got you into barbering, and when did you realize that it was more than just a job?
COVID is when I realized. I started 6 months before COVID. It was 2019 October, I think it was, and yeah, I had a basketball hoop out back, and all the kids were in my alleyway at all times, and there was a kid that had an oval hairline. And I told him, I was like, "Yo, let me give you a shape up." I told him I was a professional barber just to get him in a chair, and then he ended up getting a shape up. Next day, I saw him again. I was like, "Yo, let me cut your hair." He ended up getting a full haircut. And then, what I mean, from there on, I think I did 6 haircuts that day. Yeah. And then I mean, they weren't good, but they passed the job and then led to more.
What was the moment where your name started to kind of carry weight in the industry?
I would say, I mean, in school, my name, Tcutz originated as a joke. Like people were, I mean, like not bullying, but, like joking, oh, Tcutz the barber, are you going to go to Tcutz? And at first I didn't like it, but then I grew off it. And then, like I said, COVID hit. I would say that's when I really realized, like man, like I got something going for myself.
Not gonna lie, Tcutz is a fire name, bro.
Thank you, thank you.
I don't
I'm
know.
glad people put that on
Yeah, I like
because
it.
I wouldn't have named myself
And
that.
when I saw you message, I
hmm
was like, Tcutz, that's fire.
Hell yeah, yeah. That originated off this one kid. My friend, he's actually like my best friend now, and he used to joke about it in school, but then it just blew up. Everyone's like, oh, T-cuts this, T-cuts that, but you know how that goes in school.
Who was your biggest influence, kind of getting you into it,
Mm,
or
in
did
the
you have one?
haircutting sense, I would
Yeah.
have to say 360 Jeezy, because he's the one I learned off YouTube, and I
Mm.
didn't learn off anyone specifically other than him. I could say because I just watched his YouTube. I did what he did in his videos, put it into real life, and then I mean now I don't do the exact same steps as him as I did in the past, but you know that's really who taught me, I guess.
Not gonna lie, I'd be slacking on the haircuts, as you can see. Look at me right now, slacking, right? But it's interesting because I've had a lot of people talk to me about I want to go to barber school, I want to become a barber, and they
hmm
know nothing about it,
hmm
but they just like it for some reason. So for someone that's about to start out and wants to learn, what are some tips that you could give them that they can get started?
Don't get me wrong. I would say I would recommend not to go to barber school, especially for the location we're at. In PA, you could do a apprenticeship. You work in a barber shop for a year, and then you get your hours and credits as you would in barber school, and then you can go get your test, get your license, and whatnot. A lot of the kids hear barber school, and I know a lot of kids that do it. They hear barber school. It's a great thing. Don't get me wrong. You're getting education in the subject that you want, but in barber school, they don't teach you the barbering aspect. They teach you what you need to know to learn for the test. They don't teach you how to cut hair. They don't teach you how to, they do, but not as much as you need to learn. That I would recommend haircuts for free. This is how I did it.
Really?
Haircuts for free for a year. Till COVID, that's when I started charging $15. And then that's when, after a whole year of doing haircuts for free, that's how I swear that's how my clientele boosted. Because if you can't sell it for free, how are you going to sell it for money? That's simple as that. Like if you can put it up for free, people are coming, $10, you know what I mean? And then it just keeps adding.
Did you have anyone that kind of left when you stopped offering them for free?
Not really. Given that I took a whole year to start charging, I think that was my main thing.
Yeah.
But not too many people left after. There's people who I messed up because I was new. And then, like they stopped coming to me because of that. But, it all comes with the game.
Yeah, $15 isn't that much.
Yeah,
anyways.
nah. Especially during COVID. We're all worried about pandemic.
Yeah. How long did it kind of take you to feel confident behind the chair? Was it that year that got you confident, or?
I would say not really until I would say after my first quote unquote celebrity, it really gained that confidence.
Really?
Because when you're behind the chair, you're just nervous that you're not gonna give the best haircut you can. You want to please the person in the chair. And my first haircut was an NBA person. He was Luke King. He's in the G League right now. He I was cutting his hair. Like I said, we did the same things as I would do as a regular person who was playing 2K, and just knowing that he was satisfied with the haircut, it sort of told me all right, if he's satisfied, that means other people are definitely satisfied, as just because he has his face is always in the camera. So that was the main thing I realized.
Well,
What do you think sets apart a good barber from a elite barber?
I would say not even the haircuts. I think it's you as a person, your personality when the client is in your chair. If I could be the best barber ever, but if I'm gonna be a douche when the guy's in the chair, if I'm gonna be criticizing his life or just ego boosting on him, if I'm in there and making him feel welcomed, that's the real barber world, I would say. And that's the main thing a lot of people are falling out of. They all want to be, not a lot of people like being on social media. You know what I mean? A lot of people do, but a good amount don't. And a lot of people just put the camera in their face right away and don't go off their feelings. You know what I mean? They just want, I'm gonna blow up on TikTok, I'm gonna blow up on Instagram. We got to do it. It's no, you're running a business at the end of the day. This isn't just for content. A lot of people don't realize that. They just go straight for content.
Yeah, I bet a lot of people vent to you as well, right?
And you gotta
listen to them.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're worried about, this video is gonna look good, you can't listen to them fully.
Yeah.
it's really a selfless, it's interesting when you're sitting from my perspective. The best thing about podcasts is you learn so much. Your worldview changes, right? That's amazing how now I realize being a barber is more like being kind of like a therapist.
100%. 100%. Yeah, I would say, you ever saw the video where it's it's the barber, you might not have, but it's the feet going in a chair, and it shows, it's about it just repeats the feet going in a chair about 10 times, but it shows one person's walking in having a kid, next person's getting married, next person had a family pass away. You know what I mean? It's all different things coming in the chair, all different times.
So what's the most underrated skill you think that people don't think of to become a good barber? Is it the listening to the client and
I would say so.
getting to know them?
Because I struggle in it, if I'm being honest. I struggle being fully after doing 10 cuts a day, by that 8th cut you're mentally ready to just go to bed. And that's the only thing. I do struggle sometimes, but I try to, tell them how was your Thanksgiving? How was your Happy New Year's? This and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you've been in it. You said since COVID. So
Yeah.
about 5-6 years.
Yeah,
6
yeah,
years.
6 years now.
How do you keep improving your craft year after year, even from doing it from 6 years?
Find a new methods. Like recently, I just found a new way how to do scissor haircuts. It's like I don't know if it's better, but it's easier to like get it all even in a sense. So like you learn little stuff over time.
Yeah.
I want
What a-
I want to jump in real quick. I want to say when you got, when you started, you had to do free haircuts. All right, I actually want to, tell the audience this is the truth about, business. ACL, when I began ACL, I didn't make $1. Didn't make a dime. I had to lose money on it, right? But you build a good brand, you get a good thing going, you just blow up. So how did that process look like for you from going from like zero, sacrificing? What were some of the challenges you need to face?
So like this is a big part that a lot of people like they might look at me funny for it. I graduated high school with a 0.7 GPA. I sacrificed my education because that's when COVID hit and I had a lot of clients. I wouldn't recommend do that.
I dropped out of high school.
Yeah, like it depends who you are. You know what I mean? Like certain people can, certain people can't. Because like some people once they leave it, they'll just get lazy or whatnot. I was never like that. I was just always like a hustle type person. I would say like what was the main question again? My bad.
I say that what were some of the challenges, that you
challenges?
had to face? And I just heard one.
Yeah,
School.
yeah. People looking at me in a sense like they're like, oh, you had a 0.7 GPA. Make you seem a little bit dumb, but maybe educationally wise, but not any within the business wise. I would say like another challenge had to be like, I would say dealing with the people that you started off charging 0 and then having to raise the price on them. A lot of people hate that. Respectfully, I understand, like, but that's business. You don't start a business to stay where you're at your whole life. You start a business to grow, charge more, give more like products and whatnot, and give a better experience. And I would say that was my biggest challenge.
Yeah, because not only were you were charging no money for a haircut.
Yeah.
Time is money, so you're basically negative.
Yeah,
in
I'm
that sense.
donating my time.
Yeah, it's crazy. So are there any haircut trends that are your favorite or that you think are here to stay, or which ones are overrated, do you think?
Overrated is the mullet. I can't lie. Everyone's starting to get a mullet fringe where it's like long in the front and then long in the back and then taper right here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just can't stand that haircut. That's like but sorry to all the clients that get that haircut. But I would say the one that's here to stay has to be the taper. Everyone gets a taper. A taper or fade. Like, everyone gets right here cut. I mean, it doesn't last long, so I wouldn't recommend it, but that's the haircut that everyone gets.
So is the mullet, is that the one that you cringe the most when people come in? You're like, I don't want to do that,
They'll
but
be
I will.
Let me get the textured front mullet. And it's like, oh man, I gotta do this.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the one.
So what daily habits in life in general helped you kind of succeed faster than a normal barber? Do you have any habits?
I would have to say, my daily habits that pushed me farther was really just being money hungry. I don't know, like, because I did a lot of things outside of like barbering on top of it, like trying to start a little clothing brand, and then I also like resold stuff like that. So like I would say that's a big one that like I don't know. I feel like
Consistency.
Yeah, consistency is a big thing. Being money hungry, and I don't know. I would say also just keeping like a positive energy in your head, like a positive mental state. I feel like a lot of people like they talk down on themselves, especially like right before you go to bed. You can't be talking down. You can't be thinking about the bad stuff in your life before going to bed, because then you're gonna bring that to the next day. Because like you dream about what you think about, and if you're dreaming about bad things, that's the only thing that's gonna happen the next day.
That's true, bro. So I'm actually inspired. How old are you?
I'm 22.
22. Okay, I'm 25. So you're my generation.
Mm-hmm.
So good stuff, because not always am I hearing good news and people succeeding for our generation. What do you think about our generation? Where's mine and your generation heading, Gen Z?
Heading, I would have to say right now, our generation, like our age group,
Yeah.
we're heading in a spot where it's gonna make us all broke. A lot of people like putting on the nice, like a chain, the new clothing, this and that. I mean, oh, if it doesn't cost 200, I don't want it. Oh, I need chrome hearts. I need this. A lot of like our age group, I feel like a lot of people are just trying to look cool, look rich, look, what I mean. But they're not. They just
They're
got
not
that.
rich.
Yeah, they got the average. You know what I mean? The average income. It's like, don't get me wrong. It's not a bad thing to have an average income, but like, what I mean, don't flaunt like if you're something you're not. Don't try to rent a car just to post it 10 times, or what I mean, stuff like that. That's where I feel like a lot of us are struggling.
So what are some, I don't want to say tips. What are some strategies and tips, I guess, you use to be money hungry and to convert your ambition into actual cash?
I think I always tell people into actual cash is like, if you're scared to do it, that means there's a beneficial thing that's gonna come out of it. Because it's either like, so if you're scared to do something, say if you're scared, for instance, I had seen a NBA player in public one time, and I was scared to go up to him, and a guy had told me, he was like, if you do your part, you can never be mad at the situation. So I had went up to him, told him, oh, I'm Tcutz the barber. If you ever need a haircut, I'm in the area that I showed him my Instagram. Once I left there, it's on him to come up to you to, hey, I need a haircut. If you do your end of work, you could never be unsatisfied. I mean, yeah, it might suck he never hit you up, but at the end of the day, you did all you could in that general moment to really like try to push forward that moment. Push forward to get that haircut in.
So, and you said you have how many clients rotating?
Roughly like 170 they come in once every 3 months.
And on long days, how do you stay mentally sharp and focused?
That energy drink be helping me. I can't lie. But I would have to say, I don't take any breaks throughout my day. Once the first cut comes in, I'm leaving after the last cut, and I feel like that keeps me in a motive where it's not like if I take that break, your mental it does make you like give like a break, like a mental break, but I just like getting it all done in one day so I can keep the same like mindset. I don't have to be like, oh, I'm gonna go get food and then I get sidetracked and then you know what I mean? And then you go back and you don't have the same energy you had when you entered the shop.
And what mistake do you think younger barbers that are younger than you, or even barbers just starting out, what mistakes do you think they make to slow their growth? Is it the buying, trying to look like they're rich and stuff like that? Or
I was just about to say, I'm glad you asked that because it's buying the new clippers. Everyone wants to buy the brand new clippers. It doesn't make I started off with the clippers from Walmart. You know what I mean? Wired on. I'm cutting with a lamp next to me, and it's like a lot of these barbers want to go buy the new clipper that costs $350. Then you think about it. You get the clipper and trimmer. That's about $550. So say if you spent the $550, how many haircuts do you really have to do to make that $550 back? That's about like when you're starting off. If you're only charging 10, that's 55 haircuts. And now they're like, and then they want to like, you know what I mean? That they're going to start charging 30 because they got that new clipper. Now you're not raising your clientele. That's why I said always start free. Then you get, you know what I mean?
yeah,
You get most people come to you.
Yo, why is it always the Spanish guys that always give the best haircuts?
I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people always come, when they come to me, they even tell me, they'd be like, bro, I don't know if I could trust you, but I'm going to let you do it. They'd be like, I don't know if I could trust you, but I'm going to let you cut you. And man, sometimes at first it used to be like, oh man, like you're looking at me, but you grow over time, you laugh about it, and you're just like, you actually give them a good cut, and then they're walking out of there 10 times more happy. You know what I mean?
So what nationality are you?
I'm white, I guess. I'm Trevor. I don't know. I don't know. My grandmother Italian. That's the only thing I know.
Oh, nice,
yeah.
nice.
So like, other than that, I always, when people ask me that, I just say I'm Trevor. Honestly.
Yo,
Yeah,
that's
lot
a
of people-
fire
yeah,
response.
It's funny. Like a lot of people look at me funny, but it's like, I'm me. I don't know. That's just
That's great.
It's
That's
funny.
great. So how important do you think personal branding and social media is for being a barber and an owner?
It's big, especially now with social media growing. You can't. The last shop I used to work at a couple years back, me and the owner are still close, and we had talked about it, and I feel like a lot of us also definitely need trying to think how to say it properly. like say when you go into a barbershop a lot, let me think. You could rephrase the question.
How does personal branding and social media, how important is it for barbers?
Okay, I would say the rebranding part is like from the owner of the shop to me. We have steady clientele, him and me, but it's more like with social media, you get these kids that are seeing these videos like how Malachi was saying about the driving 2 hours away, this and that. A kid sees it on social media, you're like, oh man, yeah, I'm gonna go to this barber because he has people driving 2 hours away for his haircuts. That's a big part. Like branding means so much when it comes to like barbering specifically. Without social media, I don't think like since COVID hit, that's when barbers went from $10 haircuts to $50 haircuts. So that all came with social media. That all came with branding. So like if that never happened, we might be charging $10 extra, but I don't see anyone charging 50, 60 as it is now.
I know not a lot of people, like to get into their craft, but I just gotta ask, man, what are like when you're getting a taper, right? Why does it feel like they're cutting for so long? Bro is on the back of my head for 15 minutes. I'm like, bro, it's the right side. Like, are you gonna go to the left side? Like, why did it take so long?
I have that happen sometimes. Sometimes I have to say it's because like you get a taper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So say when you get a taper, a lot of barbers like it's a tight spot. It's about this much we have to fade as if it was a whole fade. So that's the main thing that I would say, especially if they're like not newer, but even me, like some people you get into, they haven't cut the back of their hair in a while. You really gotta fade it. You know what I mean? And it's just a tight spot. We really gotta get a nice, crisp, blurry fade. I think that's the main thing that's like makes it longer than just like a regular fade on the side.
So every barber, no matter what your skill is, you're probably going to be spending something.
Yeah,
okay.
I would say so. Unless you're freehanding. If you're freehanding, not really putting any, like, the guards that go on the clipper.
Yeah.
If you're just, because sometimes I do that, just say if I'm not running late, but like if the client is like, in a hurry to leave, I'll just, you free guide it, you try to freehand it, and then you bring the ball guide line, get it in real quick, and, get them out. But other than that, I would say every barber, yeah.
The best part about a barber, though, is when he's trying his best.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, like, I've had cuts that turn into an hour, and I'm like, shoot, I got to go, right?
Yeah.
But, like, I just respect them, right? But, like, as a barber, what does it feel like when a client really tips you well? What does that feel like?
Man, it makes you want to give them a hug. Nah, it's just like one of those things, like, when they tip you well, it shows they respect you. But I keep every client at the same respect level. You know what I mean? If you tip me well, I'm not gonna like treat you different as the other guy. But there is times where, like, say if you need a haircut and I need to stay open late for you, that's when you get, you'll get that benefit from you tipping. I feel like that's a lot of people don't tip because they like the last second haircuts. They like, let me get in real quick. Which then again, like, in that predicament, I don't think you would need to fully, like, if you're a walk-in, it depends on the situation, but like that's where I feel like when they don't tip, it's like all right, you came in last second, made me feel like I need to give you a nice cut, and then you don't tip. Makes us feel like
I never do that. I never do. I always tip really well.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, when I was young, I probably didn't tip. I don't know, like I was young, but I could definitely see like the difference from other barbers. Like when you tip and when you don't tip, they completely put you like aside. Some barbers, I try not to do that because that's wrong in a sense of business. But I try to definitely give leisure to the people that tip well, so that way they can get like after hour haircuts, early haircuts, or fit-ins.
So I'm gonna ask you a question, and then I'm gonna give you my intake on what I'm not a barber, but I feel like is one of the most frustrating things that I see. What is one of the most frustrating things as a barber when dealing with clients? What's something that the client will do that's frustrating?
They won't treat you like human. They think you're a robot. Like, they think I gotta be in the shop from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., no stop, and if I need a haircut now, I need it. And it's like, bro, for instance, I have a puppy, so I have to take care of my puppy. I have a mom at home. I have to take care of her. I like to go watch sporting events. I like to live my life as well. I'm not just a barber. And a lot of people don't, like, I understand we do charge a lot now. Barbers do charge a ridiculous amount. But it's for the fact, not because I want to be in a shop. All like we charge more so that way we can have a little bit more free time with our families in a sense and like live life. Like that comes behind it all. And that's the one struggle I have with some clients. They don't think like for instance, I got sick the other day. I had to call off. People are calling me, be like, "No, I need you to cut my hair, da da da, this and that." Start disrespecting me on the phone. It's like, man,
That's
yeah. I'm like, dude, I'm sick.
Was it right before New Year's?
Nah, it was like 2 weeks beforehand. So I was like,
Okay.
I understand Christmas come around, but still, you didn't need to do all that.
Yeah. Do you want to get sick or do you want to haircut?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Do you
That's
want to get my sickness? But
so looking from the outside in, I would say the most frustrating thing would be for me is if the first client shows up late.
oh man,
Because if the first client shows up late, then you're pushed back
yes,
the whole day.
whole day. And a lot of people don't realize that too. They'll be like, "Yo, I'm only 13 minutes late." I would have been halfway done through the fade. They would have been halfway done already. That 13 minutes. It's like time is money. Time is money.
Do you have any like solution to that?
I would say the down payment. I'm starting to do that actually tomorrow on the 5th. I'm starting to do a $25 down payment.
That's fire.
And basically how I'm going to run it is you have a 3-hour grace period. Basically, so say if your appointment's at 1, you have until 9 a.m. to tell me that you can't make it. And that $25 you put down can be used for your next appointment. But if you're texting me, an hour before the appointment, I'm going to keep that 25. And that's the only solution I would say that's beneficial from my end and the clients, because once you pay that 25, now you're known you got to go to a haircut. And then 2, it's not like I'm charging you the full amount. So that way, if you do miss it, it's not pocket breaking for you, because I understand times it's hard. You know what I mean? Like nowadays, especially, the economy sucks.
Yeah. Plus the future, like the clients coming after them will know that they don't have to wait.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Their haircut appointment's gonna be on time.
And I feel like the late part, I don't think you're ever gonna get I don't think anyone could ever get past that. Being late is just like, I feel like that's every day. I think that's where upcharging in a sense. I think that's why a lot of barbers upcharge like 60, 75, because once you start paying that dollar, you're not gonna show up to an appointment late. You know what I mean? You're paying that high end price. You're most likely getting money, and money's business. You know what I mean? You're not gonna show up to a business related thing late. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel like a lot of barbers charge extra to sort of take off the fact like, all right, whoever comes in is definitely coming. You know what I mean? And you can also tell, like, not to be rude in any way, you could tell when people aren't going to pay that dollar. You know what I mean? Like, some people book and then I have to cancel them because I know they're going to come in with $20 and try to pay me through that. And it's like I understand, but you know what I mean? It's a little while now.
So as a business owner, you kind of get to see quality over quantity.
Yep.
Even though you do have a lot of customers, clients, you get to see that, the quality of people you'd rather deal with than the quantity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you could have 300 every couple of weeks. You know what I mean? But now you have a good solid core of the 170 that you're saying.
And that's this one barber, the barber. He works at a chop shop. That's the first and original shop I worked at. He's the one who really taught me that. He has the same people. Every Tuesday, you'll see the same people. Every Wednesday, same people. But they're always on time, consistent. You know what I mean? And now he's dealing with the same people. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to talk about, like, there's sometimes I have to talk about random things with clients. I don't even know what I'm talking about. You know, so like you're having like, it's like you build a bond, you know what I mean? He taught me that, and that's where I'm trying to lead my business now.
So is he like one of your mentors?
100%. Yeah,
Is that your top mentor, you would say?
Yeah, I would say mentor. Yeah, that's my top mentor.
Do you have anyone else that you would call a mentor?
I would call this one guy. He's like he's a grown man. He was a big part of the outside life of barbering. He taught me a lot of stuff that I would want for my family growing up. Taught me a lot of like stuff I didn't like, stuff that he did that I wanted, and he sort of showed me like what not to do to get to that. And you know what I mean? Like, don't go out there and show off, get that brand new car. Don't you know what I mean? Like, really humble down, put your head down, and get to it. He's the one who actually taught me the don't be unsatisfied if you put in your effort. You know what I mean? How I said earlier, that he taught me a lot, I would say. But
how do you price your work like confidentially without underselling yourself?
so The way, so when I first started cutting NBA players, I had told them, or even like rappers and whatnot, but like on the higher end with following, I told them, I was like, yo, pay me whatever you think is the right price. I had people paying me all different prices, but it sort of put a price point of what they think I'm at. And then like on top of that, then when I started charging people, I had people coming in, I was charging 15, they were paying me 25. So I'm like, dude, if everyone's paying me, tipping me $10, might as well just charge the 25. And that was a big point where it's just like, you just sort of go off like other people, what they're paying. You know what I mean? I try to stay lower in price because like I said, the economy's at a weird spot, and like Philipsburg's actually known. We had the top dropout rate in high school. I'm pretty sure we were top in what's it called? I forget what it's called. It's something to do with like
What, academics?
yeah.
GPA top and the lowest
Yeah,
GPA.
yeah, we were pretty low, and even money wise too. I'm trying to think the right word, but financially, Philipsburg's like pretty poor, and Philipsburg itself, not the outside part.
Poverty?
Yeah, and that was a big part because like all my clients are from Philipsburg. That's where I originated from. That's like what I mean. That's my people, and I try not to charge that extra dollar because it's like bro, like I'm in the same part as you. You know what I mean? Like I'm living with my mom still. I see what my mom has to go through. I don't want you to go through that just for a haircut. I want you to leave here happy, not mad because you just had to spend rent on fucking a haircut. You know what I mean? Like that's the one thing. I don't like charging extra because of that reason.
And you keep bringing up rappers and ball players.
Yeah.
What are some big names that you've cut before?
I don't know if Nas Reed, he's on the Timberwolves. Young Amaya had cut. I would never cut her hair again. Let's just say that. I had cut Luke King, Trayvon Duvall, Sway Lee. I had cut Ray Schmurder's whole group. I had cut Torch, the rapper. He's from Newark. He's a big drill rapper. Probably a few others. I had cut a couple social media people as well, like TikTok people, EJ, both EJs, and then Alibaba.
And how did you get connected to them? Like, what was the process of getting in touch with them and cutting their hair?
So the NBA part, you actually, Anthony Green, the one
Yeah.
that, so his brother was the first NBA player I cut.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and that was the main thing. He put me on to. I went to one of his give back events, and I gave free haircuts at the give back event. He was giving away turkeys or something like that, and that's when he had put me on to Trayvon Duvall, Nas Reed, because they were all at his event because he was, he's in
Green's event.
His younger brother's
his
event.
younger brother.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, his younger brother's event, and he put me on. Green put me on to his brother. His brother put me on to a few other basketball players. And then once I posted that on social media, that's when other people, like influencers, started hitting me up because it's like, oh, you see these high-end people. You know what I mean? They start coming to you. And then I have to shout out my guy, EJ. He put me on to a lot of people through the TikTok and Instagram world. He put me on to a lot of like higher-end creators to do haircuts for.
Nice.
So what's your favorite haircut to do? I know we touched on it earlier about what's like your the worst.
Favorite haircut has to be the taper. Quick and easy. I can't lie. It's quick and easy. I get it done, and you know what I mean? Perfect for the dollar.
Nice. So getting into you, right? Everyone understands the barber side. But what about Trevor? Well, who is Trevor? What are your hobbies?
Man, I'm a guy that I'm chill. I like doing spontaneous things. You know what I mean? I'll pick up, like tonight I might just go to a basketball game or I might just go somewhere. I'm really spontaneous. But I'm a guy who likes giving back. I do a bit. I like doing at least once a year a big give back event in Philipsburg. And last summer I did an ice cream event. I had gave out 360 ice creams, and I bought out the store and basically just gave it to anyone that was walking past, promoted it and whatnot. That's one thing I like about myself. Like I just love giving back to people, even for Christmas. Like just buying your mom and sister gifts is like the best thing in the world.
That's fire. Do you give back mentorship?
Mentorship, not right now. I try not to because I don't want to tell someone the wrong answer because I'm not far enough in my career where I could feel like I can give you a solid answer. I could give you like good feedback. I could give you good like advice, but not something where it's like a mentorship.
Would you say a lot of people look up to you?
Yeah, I would say so. Not like a crazy amount. I couldn't tell you how much, like, you know what I mean, but I would say people look up to me in a sense of like my work ethic, me trying to, you know, always get money, me always, and then on top of it, I'm not the guy to post, you know, like people like posting drugs, stuff like that. I keep it all professional, and that's a big thing. A lot of people look up to me by.
There's probably a lot of people that you don't know that look up to you that just
Yeah.
don't tell you.
I
You
think
know what
so,
I mean?
bro.
Yeah, 100%. But it's just, you know, it's hard to, you know, come by that because it's like nowadays it's all ego. Everyone's egoed, you know, like no one wants to walk up to be, yo, I really look up to you, bro. You know what I mean? Everyone's just like, oh, if you see someone famous, you sort of look away, try to act cool, you know?
Yeah.
So wrapping up, what is a couple advice points that you could give to anyone that just wants to become successful?
Successful. Keep your head down. Keep grinding. I know it's corny as it sounds, but don't just go out there and try to be famous for the famous end. Do something you actually love. Put your head down. Keep grinding towards it, and don't let little stuff come in and distract you. Stay locked in, and just push forward to something that you really love. Don't do it because everyone's telling you to do it. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of people do nowadays. They hear something. I do it too. I saw one friend did a clothing brand. I was like, oh, I'm doing a clothing brand. And, I mean, that's a big thing. Like, I didn't really like it. So, I end up not doing a clothing brand. Now it's not going. So that's a big part.
Don't do really what other people are doing what you love to do.
Yeah, do what
passion.
you love to do. Put your head down, do what you love to do, grind for it. And like I said, if you do your end, the other end will come towards you. And if not, you can't be unsatisfied because you did everything you could.
That's great. I could see us doing a collab in the near future too, with giving back to the community.
Let's do it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because that's our goal too. When Christmas is around, when Thanksgiving is around, any holiday or any time of the year, we want to give back as well.
100%.
So I think we could
I'm
do a
down
collab
for
with that.
anything. I'm actually doing one soon at in Burley's gym. He's a gym owner, and he's in Philipsburg. And we'll probably do where you can get a free day of working out. We'll probably give out free food and free haircuts. I try to do it like once a year, doing free haircuts. But last year I did not do it. So I want to make it extra big this year.
That's great.
Nice. We're going to support that event.
I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Awesome. I
we'll
appreciate
be
it.
there. Thanks, Trevor. I appreciate you coming on, man. It was great talking to you.
Thank
you.
you.
Know what I mean?
Appreciate you guys having me.
Thanks, buddy.
Great stuff.
Nice.
Thank you,
All right.
bro.